George Orwell's 1984 is one of the world's best-known novels, with its portrayal of a totalitarian state where a mysterious big brother eavesdrops on everyone, where history is rewritten, where lies replace truth, where people lose their individual identity, where having sex is a crime against the state. And in this awful world, we follow the fortunes of one Winston Smith, a timid everyman, and his battle to remain a rebel in this world, to remain an independent thinking person. Here's the scene where Winston Smith and a similarly minded female rebel joins him for a taboo personal encounter.
Hello.
Hello.
Let me show you what I've brought. Look.
What is it?
Real sugar. Not saccharin. And I've got a loaf of bread, proper white bread. And jam. A real tin of milk. Look.
Coffee. Real coffee.
In a party, half a kilo.
How did you manage to get hold of all this?
Oh, there's nothing those bastards don't have. Aren't you pleased?
Yes. Yes, of course. Real tea.
There's been a lot of tea about lately. They've captured India or something.
I want you.
I want you too.
That was John Hurt as Winston Smith, and Susanna Hamilton, a real find there, quite appealing as Julia. 1984 has been filmed twice now. This second version is better than the first, but despite all the artistry involved, the bleak set decoration you could see there, the noble performances, it still left me unmoved, as if I were watching it all at a distance. And that even applies to the fine burned-out performance by the late Richard Burton in his last big screen role, playing a member of the ruling party who tries to brainwash the last bit of humanity out of Winston Smith.
Do you remember writing in your diary, freedom is the freedom to say 2 + 2 = 4?
Yes.
How many fingers am I holding up, Winston?
4.
And if the party says there are not 4, but 5, then how many?
5.
No. That's no use. You're lying.
Burton is very good in this picture, and that's not just because it's his last performance and it feels tragic to us. But why didn't this film work for me? Why isn't it the horrifying experience that Orwell's book is? Why is it even boring and repetitive at times? My only guess is that the film is too respectful of the book. Everyone seems to be acting as if they're associated with a classic. And there are absolutely no surprises in either the film's tone or style. It's all of a piece. The world is dark and gray. The ruling state is bad. Can Winston survive? And then the movie's over. And I sat there admiring many of its individual elements, but by its whole, basically unmoved.
Well, there we have a real big disagreement, because I felt it was a real good movie, and I didn't feel it was too respectful to the novel. What I felt was that they had found their own vision of 1984, and that, oddly enough, it looked a lot more like, let's say, post-war England than it would look like the 1984 of a more futuristic movie like the original 1950s version.
Right.
This is a movie that's made out of old junked cars, out of smashed office furniture, out of burned out radio tubes, out of people who really make you feel that that strawberry jam and that little tin of coffee are important to them, so that I did feel that this was a world of totalitarian, crushing kind of.
Well, I want to tell you what happened to me. It's amazing to me. You know that famous television commercial made for Macintosh computers that ran in the Super Bowl, which is a parody of 1984.
Right.
I thought that 1-minute commercial contained everything that this movie contained. And as a result, as I sat there watching it, I thought, well, I know what this is all about. And I knew what this movie was all about from its first frame to its last frame. Good actors, honorable film. So what?
I think you're really missing the boat on it, Gene. I think that it's a good movie, and I feel that the director, Michael Radford, has really done a great job of visualizing this material in an original way. Good performances. You liked Richard Burton. I like John Hurt.
No, that's too noble for me, but at any rate, go ahead.
Too noble. Okay, well, we don't want to see a movie that's too noble for us. Next at the movies, Harrison Ford fears for his life in the world of friendly persuasion.